Welcome to the Midnight Run. We're honored by your attendance. Your host, Denobi2.
An unscheduled, a surprise Midnight Run. You folks weren't expecting this, were you? Look, there's probably going to be a lot of drama in the next coming days when it in the world of 1/6 scale community. You would think with all the hot toy surprises that we've been getting dished left and right, that the surprises from Hot Toys would stop, but no. They keep coming. They keep coming. So I figured, hey, you know what? Why not? Why not a surprised, unscheduled, an old school midnight run? Evening, folks. How should I say? Good morning. How is everybody? Let's check in. Let's check in before we start dishing out ideas, opinions, maybe even some facts. I don't know. Maybe we'll be daring tonight. Some facts, maybe? Who's the first one checking in? Who's checking in? The United Kingdom. 8 a.m. in the morning. Hello, Andre. Well, good morning to you, sir. Hope you're enjoying your oats and your tea and your good breakfast stuff. Listen to me talk, discuss. I don't know. I'm going to try to keep the peace here. Maybe a little bit of ASMR. But we're going to talk about Spider-Man tonight. We're going to talk about the Spider-Verse. The wonderful world of Marvel, Sony. More specifically, Spider-Man. Who's checking in? Who is checking in? There you go. You folks know the rules in the Midnight Run. Midnight Runs are special. They're unique. We keep them personal here. Arena Adrian, 3 in the morning in Orlando, O-Town. Oh, check you out. Thank you, good sir. Thank you for checking in from Florida. Hopefully things aren't too wacky out there for you. Evening from Louisiana. Louisiana is what, Central Time, maybe? Right? Maybe 2 in the morning. Shane from Kentucky. Shane knows the rules. Shane is checking in from the East Coast. Thank you, Shane, for checking in. The Collector. Look at you. What are you doing up, good sir? Shouldn't you be in bed? Shouldn't you be in bed, the Collector? You always want to know, boy. Anytime tea's about to get spilled, the Collector needs to show. Willie Woodson. Hello, sir. Willie, where are you checking in? I've never seen your handle before. What parts are you checking in from? Chasing Studios. I know you, good sir. Checking in from Vegas. Hello. Evening. Welcome to the Midnight Run. Evangelium from New York City, right? For checking in from New York, I know local Lou's around near the corner, right? Lionel, 3 p.m. Singapore. And I know I saw good old 6 Scale Mafia checking in from Phoenix. He's from Phoenix, Arizona, but I don't think he checked in. I don't think he knows the rules. 3 in the morning from Pennsylvania, working up, glad to join the run. Milwaukee. Hello, good sir. Willie Woodson. All right, so we just had a drop. Look, controversial drops are my forte. Any chance I get to stir the tea with some extra sugar, maybe even a little pinch of salt, I like to be part of it. Sure, why not? Why not? We are talking about the newly dropped Hot Toys Spider-Man 2099. Ooh, boy. Look, I issued a disclosure, I want to say last week on Geeking Out, or maybe on my stream. I'm not exactly sure, but I know I issued out a statement that I would most likely not be collecting anything from Spider-Man Across from the Spider-Verse. No. I am building my own little self-contained ecosystem Spider-Verse in my Max 140 module case. I have been collecting wonderful Hot Toys Spider-Man, and I look forward to adding probably 4 or 5 additions by the end of this year to my Spider-Verse. I'm talking about Doc Ock. I'm talking about Green Goblin, Electro, Toby, Andrew. Hey, we are on a first name basis with these guys. So I made it very clear. Look, this is probably going to be a really popular film. Spider-Man Across the Verse is probably going to be It's probably going to make a lot of money, and I'm probably going to love it, but I've had to tell myself it's not for me. No, I do have Miles Morales, and I do have a Gwen in my collection with Spider-Man, and that's about it. There's 3 or 4 different versions of Miles Morales. I had to put a stop to that, only because the income in Sinister Six. Well, shoot, guys, they're not cheap. They're not cheap. Now, I'm not like other collectors. I actually, on occasion, dabble in tunes, hot toy tune characters. I specifically love the Hydra Stomper based off of its tune representation. I have it. It's one of my favorite pieces. Anytime Hot Toys makes a product or figure that evokes my imagination, enables me to play with and pose and just really have a good time, I'm always a big fan of. And the Hydra Stomper did deliver that. And the additional character pieces did that well, right? We had baby Steve Rogers there, and then we had Captain Carter. Great set. And then I look forward to, hopefully by the end of the year, add Vision Ultra. I don't have them yet, but I definitely. And Vision Ultra, I now that I'm segueing to that, has a pretty much the same similar body. It has that stretched out, exaggerated toon body, and it's easier to really go die cast and implement something like that, say in a die-cast Iron Man suit, have that big broad chest and skinny little legs in a die-cast, right? He's wearing a suit. But when it comes to a two-dimensional character, certain things are clearly going to be lost in translation here. It really, really is. What are we checking in here? The rules, yes. Well, you're checking in from what appears to be an alternate reality. Something's weird at the Circle K. Smoking if you got him. Big day for Spider-Man 2099. You had Fortnite release, Omnibus release, and now the most expensive Marvel Legend, or was that Galactus? So I guess this is going to be the running joke. And thoughts and prayers? Look, me personally, I am not collecting this particular 29. I don't need to. Unlike you cats out there who sold all your Spider-Verse, I kept my original Spider-Man 2099. I still kept. In fact, I have all of them. I have all the PS4 Spider-Man representations. And when you look at something like this, and you look at the Toon version from Spider-Man Across the Verse, you understand that certain liberties have to be taken. Is this what you were expecting? Is this what you folks out there wanted? A Spider-Man across the universe with this type of humanistic body, right? With the butt and everything, and no, that's just not how it works. I'd probably go out and chase this now. Are you? I love this guy. This is inside one of my chambers. This is such a great figure. I have him in museum pose. I don't really go dynamic, and that's the other thing too, right? Look at how I keep this. I keep him in a museum pose. No dynamic posing whatsoever because of the fabric. Because if you stretch his fabric, then you end up having a rip in his taint and all that shit. It just ends up breaking it. But with a over enlarged, gorged Marvel Legends, right? You can have some creative liberties, right? You can get away with these wacky toon dynamic poses look, I love this. Look at that. The fact that they added eyeballs here, separate rolling eyeballs in this Marvel Legends that's pretty goddamn impressive that they actually still gave it. But because of these over enlarged joints, you can get away with some really, really cool dynamic poses, right? Could you do this pose with my guy? No, hell no. No. So it's unfortunately in the world that we live in and collect in hot toys, you're going to have to give, and there's going to be a little bit of give and take. You can, I get it, right? Right? We are a bunch of spoiled hot toy collector divas, and we want our cake and want to eat it too. You're not going to be able. Spider-Man has always typically been known for its dynamic posing and swinging. I think it's one of the reasons why the SH Figuarts Spider-Man line has been so successful, so popular, because it's a high quality action figure, what 1/10th scale, and you can get away with some really wacky dynamic posing. So look, I actually give points to Hot Toys on this. The fact that they went out of the way for a true cinematic representation. This is a two-dimensional character. And this is one of the things that I was kind of very well aware is that certain Spider-Mans throughout the Spider-Verse are going to be drawn and animated in different styles and formats to represent the universe that they're coming from. In fact, I'll play a quick trailer here. Hopefully I don't get demonetized, but I'll kind of give you an example of that. And this is clearly this version of Spider-Man 2099. It's his true cinematic representation. There's just no way, unfortunately, I think that you could have gotten away with a humanist. Look at this. He's stretching. I mean, you can't do that with a fabric suit, right? Would I attempt a pose like that with no? In fact, I keep them in the spider chamber. No, it's unfortunately it is a give or take. Um, that's what you can get away with when you have a more dynamic exposed joint, more of a hard rubber, right? That you can get away with. The other thing too is that if you were to have implemented a fabric, it probably wouldn't have looked good. You can't get away with that type of dynamic pose. And even with a stretchy, I'm not talking about this vinyl fabric that they incorporate into say that this figure. I'm talking more of like that spandex. You can't, it's not going to look good, right? Right. Or maybe Hot Toys just spoiled the whole community with that whole hybrid Star Wars collection where they would take figures like the toon representation of Captain Rex and hybridize them into a human, which I always thought that was weird. I always thought that was just plain silly. That's not how Captain Rex looked like in the cartoon. Why not portray him in the cartoon, right? If the fans love the Clone Wars so much, why not portray him as a toon representation? In fact, that's probably where I give Sideshow credit. Sideshow represents Obi-Wan and Anakin in its truest toon form, and most 1/6 scale collectors all they ended up finding reasons to still bitch about it anyway. I bitched about it, but I have legitimate reasons. They've never been able to tackle the soft goods fabric situation. I gave praises on those head sculpts. I thought the head sculpts for Anakin and Obi-Wan were fantastic, but the exposed stitching in the fabric, they've never been able to master that, right? There's probably only two companies that I know that have mastered the art of soft good tailor and fabric, and that is Hot Toys and that is X06. X06 does great costumes and uniforms. You know, they can't make a head sculpt for shit, but they can definitely make a jumpsuit. Absolutely. I'll give credit where credit is due, right? When they figure out the secret to painting a head sculpt, then I'll look in that direction. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about this guy here. We're talking about Spider-Man 2099 with his exposed taint. Where is it? Did I see Loco Lou? See, look at that. Anytime there's a midnight run, Loco has to pop in. And what the blue hell happened to Hot Toys? Look, hey, it's under new management now, Loco. We're getting a tune butt now. We're getting a tune butt, Loco. We're getting it. Okay, so yeah, that 2099 version is only going to become soft. Ryan, I'm assuming you mean this guy here. This guy here is probably going to be the one that you're going to want, right? If you really want a spider, I'm pretty positive you can probably find this guy probably either at retail. I'm pretty sure of it. I love this guy. I mean, I have them all. There's no PS4 Spider-Man that I'm missing. I got them all, just either at a discount. But if you were to compare this one to Spider-Man Across the Universe Toon version, right? You can't help but wonder.
Series robots, but like no design I've ever seen.
Well, well. Aren't we the poor cousin?
Down here.
Right? Oh, goodness. Oh, the pain, the pain. I'm trying to play devil's advocate here, Loco, right? Look, I'm not getting him. I've already said it. I've already said I give them an applause for having the courage to represent the figure the way it is seen in this cinematic representation. And if collectors are unhappy with it, then one of the beautiful things that we can do as collectors is you vote with your wallet. If this is not your cup of tea, then this is clearly not your cup of tea. Now, we have entered an era of hot toy pre-ordering where moving forward, Hot Toys, or specifically Sideshow, they've moved forward with smaller batches. Now, don't lie to yourself if you think this is going to end up in the bargain bin. No. We've entered the era of small batches where the last 5 figures that have arrived in my collection have arrived with a 20-30% marked up in equity. Figures that are sold out, figures that are in waitlist full. That's the world we're living in right now. Could this be a chase figure by default? It's not because it's wonderful and it's fun and it's a great figure to play with, but by default, is it going to be a chase figure? Meaning that when it finally gets released, it's probably going to be waitlist full. And yeah, most likely. Yeah. The days of making 20, 30,000 units. No, nobody. We are never going to run out of Toontown Ahsoka or Captain Rex or Moff Gideon or that era of 2020 and 2021. Okay, I'll pose an aside and justification. How about the price? This should be $40. If not, anything's going to fall from the majority. Well, no. Unfortunately, you're not. It's not going to be, because this has a secret gimmick, weapon, whatever you want to call it, something that gives it a unique stylized value, right? It's the head sculpt with the rolling eyes. I gotta say, I'm quite impressed. In fact, if I were to buy this guy, I would probably most likely pose him like this with the head sculpt. I gotta say, this is a kick-ass look. Everything about this angry, and I don't know if he's a villain in the film or antagonist. I have no clue. I gotta say, this look here, it's pretty toonerific with the rolling eyes and the Hot Toys A+ paint application. Look, I love my Captain Carter and my Toon Steve Rogers from the Hydra Stomper. They did a bang up job representing the Toon version of those characters. So I expect nothing less. On a scale from 1 to 10, hey Denobi, would you pre-order this or would you end up getting it? I'd probably say a 3. Only because I also feel it's going to clash with the suits. But I am building a Spider-Verse, and this could probably theoretically accent my collection to the next level. And I'm not going to lie to you. I'll confess, if this ends up in waitlist full and it's chasing 50, 20, 30% above its retail value, I do find that attractive. Oh, I do find that attractive. How many collectors do you know out there building a Spider-Verse? Well, you know one of them already, and that's me. I don't know a lot of people that are building the Spider-Verse. Seems a lot of folks lost faith. I hope Gwen and Miles have the rolling eyeballs too, if it'll be the standard. You know what? It's not a bad idea, Ryan. It's not a bad idea. Something about that extra gimmick. It's pretty snazzy. Very snazzy. Can this be compared to Mondo? Well, Pattern 23, look at you being all smart and sassy. And yes, you're absolutely right. This is probably in the same league as Mondo T. So yes, you're absolutely right. Nobody was crying foul on that awesome Harley Quinn. That was a timed pre-order with the hyena dogs. In fact, not only were the fans excited for her, she sold out before the timed edition ran the clock. Because I was following her and I knew I had another day to pre-order her, and I love to wait till the 11th hour. Well, my dumbass, I missed out. They sold out of the Harley Quinn Deluxe Timed Edition. So I'm out of gas on that timed edition. That timed edition was the one that came with the extra accessories and the two hyenas. And she is a beautiful toon representation of the Batman animated series for $200. That's the other question too. How much is this guy? We don't know how much this guy's going to be. How much is Hot Toys going to ring us through the ringer? But yes, Patton. Oh, you almost came close to earning some points there, but you're right. This is a good comparison. Say again, screen accurate. Christian, are you looking to split hairs? Huh? You got to be more specific, Christian. If I wanted hate on tonight's midnight run, I would have brought in the Hatealorian. Got to be more specific. I think it'll be $200. If it's $200, it'll actually be a fair market priced compared to Mondo Tees, because that's what Mondo Tees is charging for its toon collection. And their shit's selling out too. They don't have a problem making money. Yeah, look, this is not everybody's cup of tea. I get it. I don't know, but this design looks a bit cheap. I know having fabric or suit would look a bit odd, but this just looks like an expensive Hasbro. So what would be your answer, right? Because we can all complain, we can all bitch. What would have been your solution? At my job, right? You know, if an employee complains about something, right? Manager always says, well, what is the solution you're bringing to the table? My solution would have probably been not to have made this character. That would have been my solution. Yeah. Yeah. I just don't know if the Hot Toys community is ready for something like this. But again, you don't get this type of hate from the Mondo side of the fence. He-Man and Battle Cat, boy, selling out. The Batman animated adventures, Harley and Joker, that stuff has no problem. And they're exaggerated in their toon aspect too. So, yeah, you don't get that. You don't get that from the other side of the fence. Maybe it's because hot toy collectors, we feel like we're more privileged. Do we feel that we're more hoity-toity? Right? Provide a solution, folks. I'll listen to you. So again, Thick Banther Boy, again, I don't know if you're being funny or if you're providing constructive criticism. You're not going to, you have to understand that they still managed to tack on value to this figure. They added rolling eyeballs. How many 1/6 scale figures you have out there that provide this type of technology? Huh? It's not a lot. You get a cool animated dynamic base. You get effects. You get his magnetically attached cape. You get a lot. You get quite a decent accessories for a point in time that we're not. I honestly hope this is it retails for in the low 200s. This really should not break $225. If it's $200, yeah. No. Again, you let me help you folks right there. Pattern 23 brought up a good comparison. If this is a 1/6 scale toon figure, what other reputable company out there makes Toon figures, and it is Mondo. And again, Mondo doesn't get this type of criticism. Their shit sells. Their shit sells very quick and very easy. Their average price Toon figures are $200. So that's how you have to look at it. It's all market comparisons, right? Comps, appraisals. Yeah, that would be my guess too. I guess it would be either 200 or in the low 200s or 210. If it breaks 250, then we have a problem. Then there's going to be a little bit of drama, right? Yeah. What's up, Braden? Checking in on a midnight run. Hello, good sir. Thank you for dropping. We are talking about the Spider-Man 2099, right? So are we as hot toy collectors then hypocrites then, right? Because I didn't see anybody bitching about Venom. Venom has exposed joints too. Venom has that exposed joint right around his taint, right? I didn't see anybody, making any excuses on him, right? What, because he's cool? Because he's Venom? Well, Denobi, we all love Venom, so we all have to make excuses for Venom, right? I said it. I'm pretty sure the YouTube archives they heard me say, hey guys, actually I wouldn't have said guys. I said, folks, I think this looks like a giant Marvel Legend. And what did I get? Oh my God, I almost got hung up on the steak. Didn't Loco Lou suffer heartburn after, right? I said it. I go, this looks like an overgrown Marvel Legend. No, it's a comic accurate movie. It's black and you have to pose it, right? At Pepperidge Farms didn't forget. So are we being a bunch of hypocrites? Look at that. Look at that. So it's okay. Venom does it. But you get Spider-Man 2099, a Toon. I guess this is a cinematic representation, more of a lifelike, I guess. Okay. But if the Toon version doesn't, then the world goes mad. Here we go. What's a Sir Mafia saying? All right. So can't compare Mondo to Hot Toys, though. Yes, you can if you're comparing a Toon character to another cartoon character. Mondo isn't necessarily known for live action representations, right? So if they're making a Harley Quinn Batman animated, a cartoon, right? And Hot Toys is making a cartoon 1/6 scale action figure, just like Mondo. To me, that's apples to apples. Unless you're looking to split hairs and segregate it on grounds to meet your narrative. See, that's what I don't know. That's Mondo's thing, so it's expected that style from them. But it's not expected from Hot Toys? Hot Toys has never done Toon characters before? I don't know. It feels like you're reaching. Oh, he is reaching. Yeah, it feels like you're reaching, and you know what I say to that.
You'll see no mercy from me.
Oh, no. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know. We'll see. What do we got here? I mean, come on, yeah. And they do and if you look at the his little action stance here where he goes up against even Miles looks like he's starving for a sandwich too. Jesus. So even Miles has that animated feel to him there too. See, that's a cool action pose. It's very different. It's loud though. And I get it. I mean, I guess I understand why someone would feel it's and overgrown Marvel Legends. Does anybody else notice Marvel Legend prices have also climbed up too? Their stuff ain't cheap either. Mm-mm. Uh-oh, Loco. I thought you checked out Loco. I thought yeah, so, but it's Venom. See that? I didn't look because it's Venom. It's Venom, Denobi, and we all love Venom, even though he has like exposed joints. Okay, talk about talk about you know, the favoritism again. It adds a specific look. The thing with Venom though is that it is a live action representation of the character, and it's hard to pose him with. I mean, that's the thing too with Venom. He is like a liquid symbiote, and you have all of these exposed joints. But again, I don't know any other way you would have been able to build them, right? I just don't know how you would have done Venom. I thought they did a really decent job for the technology. So, you know, I was expecting them to rant. No, because it's not so much of a rant. To me, this feels more like a controlled case study here, because I can see both sides of the fence. Like, I can see why people are probably distraught about this. Oh, absolutely. I totally get it. Right? I can 100% see why it feels loud. It feels like it has that look of cheapness, and it's not going to be cheap, right? So I can see that. I can 100% see that. Uh, but then as I creep on over to the other side of the fence, I can also see, like, they did a really bang up job grabbing. This is a two-dimensional character, and giving it that three-dimensional look. And the other thing too with the fabric is that you're not the way the male body on this figure is contoured, like the fabric wouldn't have even been able to hug him just right. Is something that I can look past the two dimensions, and I can kind of see in three, like, how would you do any of this? How would you have done that in a fabric? I just don't understand. Right? With the little skinny legs, little like skinny calves, and then the big giant broad. Um, and then I just, I'm not saying that it's impossible. It probably, you would end up with something like this. Well, in a museum pose. So it's just one of those situations, because I love Spider-Man. I do. And I just don't know a lot of other collectors that are still into the Marvel Spider-Man verse like I am. It seemed like everybody jumped off the train 3 or 4 stops ago, and everybody's just like dogs trying to chase their tail, because every week there's something new and shiny that pops up that they all think is just the cat's meow. If it's not some little Harry Potter porcelain doll that everybody thinks is like the next Grail, it's an old bag lady that's supposed to be Sigourney Weaver, representing her look from Alien. And I mean, I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. I'm like, who is this? Like, that's supposed to be Sigourney Weaver, right? So we make exceptions for third party schlock like that, you know, and you get something that I honestly feel that this is a true cinematic representation of what he looks like in the movie, and everybody loses their shit. But yet you get a bag lady that's supposed to be Sigourney Weaver, and you're like, what? Maybe my prescription is off on my glasses. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. I just don't see it. Did I almost begin to no, I don't need this guy. I love being caught in the ash. I made it very clear, when it comes to situations like this, I feel that there's only a handful influencer, hot toy influencers out there that can actually comment from both sides, because I still have majority of my Spider-Verse. I kind of just feel like everybody just jumped off the train for Spider-Verse because they're chasing Star Wars or DC or something. I'm like, I still love my my Spider-Man collection. I'm giving it full luxury penthouse in the Max 140 case. So I just think this is different. But again, I can totally sympathize why it feels different for some folks. You're like, what is this? You're like, yeesh, right? So it's an oversized SH Fig Arts. Yeah. But Local Lou, you and I both know even SH Fig Arts aren't cheap anymore. So oh, here we go. I knew the Venom fans were going to come out and lobby against its defense. Here we go. Samuel Shin, respectfully, Venom may have joints, but the body sculpting has more lifelike appearance, and the joints aren't as exposed as this 2099. What do you mean the joints are exposed? Didn't you see that taint hanging down like a grandfather clock? I can't. What are you talking about? Didn't you see? What is it, like 6:30 between those joints or something? Like, what's the? Am I blind? Oh, here we go. Goodness. Oh, you folks are. I love you guys. I do. I'm having a blast tonight with you. It's been something about a midnight run. Getting personal with you folks is always it's always good. Hot Toy Killers are going to come back from the community. What's this, Brayden? Hot Toy Killers. Oh yeah. Chasing the little porcelain Harry Potter doll. How much is that little twink going for? $600. You look cool in my Spider-Man collection. I see. I'm so swamped. The problem is that I dip in all three of the big IPs. I'm in Star Wars, DC, and I'm bracing for impact for DC right now. I think the Flashpoint movie is going to break $1 billion, and I think we're all going to get just punched and kicked, and I think the Flashpoint movie is going to hurt. So I have to, the way my mind works is that I manage my collection now, and then I have to try to anticipate it in the future. Not to mention, two of the biggest 1/6 scale vehicles haven't even had we have the Ecto-1 After Life inbound, and then the DeLorean Mark II hasn't even had a full release yet. Most of you folks out there are anticipating or holding or so forth. So we got two incoming big vehicles. I'm not sure if everybody was just chasing the Afterlife vehicle. I got mine. Pre-ordered and paid. I can't wait. And hopefully, I may be able to get a quick first look from Bandai Namco. So if I get the invite, I will absolutely drive to California, get some first looks on that Afterlife Ecto-1. So I mean, overall, look, this is, see, like right here. If you didn't know that this was a 1/6 scale figure, and you showed this to any regular toy collector, they would just assume this is like a 1/10 scale or like a Marvel Legends. Or actually, you know what? Bullshit. I wouldn't even insult this because Marvel Legends has just been taking shortcuts recently. This is more like a really high-end SH Fig Arts. If you didn't know that this was made by Hot Toys. So I think the secret sauce for this is this right here. This is the secret sauce right there. I think this is a badass look right here with the rolling eyes and the head sculpt. And I'm assuming he's playing an antagonist in the film because he looks mean as shit, and just look at that. So this is probably the look. And I pray that I don't get bullied into pre-ordering him once the alerts start going out that it's low batch and low inventory, because I'm pretty positive this is going to be a low batch, low inventory situation. 100%. That's just the way things are right now. I did not get my Flash tickets yet, but thank you for reminding me. Here we go. What is this here? That rooted Harry Potter porcelain doll is $600, so the Gryffindor trio will cost $2,000. No thanks. Give me the Flash. Yeah, there's something about collecting children in 1/6 scale that creeps me out. And this coming from a Hot Toys collector that has an enchanted, mystical Bison TB League body. Oh, I have no problem posing, naked clad women and men and accenting their genitalia, but something about children in a 1/6 scale. Yeesh. What will the neighbors say? Just never been my cup of tea. uh, yes, I've actually known for over a month that first week inbound, Bandai Namco is going to be getting the shipments from Afterlife, and I was kind of partially invited. I need to actually reach out to the marketing director because I've actually had him on my channel on the Afterlife, but he made it very clear it was going to be the first week. It was going to be in their offices, and he would keep me posted on it. So I know last year prior, he did invite me twice to Bandai Namco's offices so that they can showcase their products. And the problem is I'm just not what the majority of their IPs just don't really do it for me. But I would definitely drive all the way out there for Ghostbusters, though. So that's something that I'll keep you folks out there posted on that. See what happens. So, but my Afterlife Ecto-1 is fully paid off. It is. I pre-ordered mine through Spec Fiction. So Spec Fiction, I am affiliated with them. They are a fantastic statue, high-end collectible retailer based out of California. I would highly recommend them. I purchased. He hooked me up. He had a open box Spider-Man Civil War and gave me a really good deal. So Todd is open to deals. So sometimes he just has open boxed items that he had on display or something, and he gave me a really good deal. So I actually have in my collection, I actually have a Queen Studios Spider-Man Civil War with the shield. So I actually have a Queen Studios product in my home. I know, but such a beautiful piece. It's Spider-Man. How can you go wrong with Spider-Man? Huh? Oh, 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 Ash, what is this? You earned some points for this. Thank you so much for the super chat, Ash. Denobu, you mean Harry Toddler? Yeah, that's clever. I do like that.
Excellent. Thank you kindly for the generous super chat. Denobi2 extends his praise for your support.
Yeah. Excellent pun. I like it. You also get 10 points for that. Harry Toddler. Yeah, I'm going to have to run with that. Yes. The second wave of Hot Toys DeLoreans is coming to Sideshow soon. The second batch. Everybody always enjoys a good sequel to the story, huh? Yeah. Should be interesting. Yeah, I really look forward to you folks out there who are patiently waiting for the Hot Toys DeLorean Mark II, because I got to tell you something. That's definitely, remember I was talking about Hot Toy pieces that I just find entertaining and fun, and the Hot Toys DeLorean did it. Even though it was plagued with quality control issues, I had so much fun working on it. I honestly really did. And I know Tomy DeLorean is going to be announcing a Kickstarter. So Tomy, they're the master of diecast products and vehicles. They will be releasing a 1/10 scale diecast DeLorean. So stay on the lookout for that. Once we get a price and once the campaign launches, I'll go into a little bit more depth, and I'll probably commit a live stream specifically to that because they seem to be going in a different direction with their Kickstarter scenario, very similar to like a HasLab, because I was under the impression that it was going to be another Enterprise starship, but things change. What do we have here? Dunno if you had to put money on the Spider-Man being a Chase Fiction feature, yeah. Well, it's going to be. That's what anybody that assumes that this thing is going to sit around next to Moff Gideon and Bo-Katan, they're lying to themselves. We've entered this new era of smaller batches, and it's not per se. It's not Hot Toys' decision. This is more of a sideshow where they're probably being plagued with so much dead stock. It acts more like a cancer in retail. And I sound like a broken record, but in retail, there's nothing worse in retail than having dead stock that's not going anywhere. So they're not playing that game anymore. And I don't blame Sideshow. They got peppered with tons of flaky cancellations. Folks who thought they could have afforded all these figures during the 2020 and the 2021 stimulus run realized that they got in a little bit over their head. And not just Sideshow, but that was everybody, though. Right? All retailers, not just Sideshow, suffering. It is just about everybody, right? Folks now have to justify that expensive purchase versus when the money was flowing probably a little bit more looser, a little bit more freer. So for this one, I'm going to stay on the fence. For now, I would say no, it's not for me. But I am a sucker for pre-order peer pressure. I am. And if I get the call from Geeking Out or any of my close friends and tells me, hey, Denobi, this thing is it's on low batch, it's low stock remaining, it's going to go out like within like in a short spirit, like in a short time span. Like this is probably going to be released next year, but like in the next 4 to 5 months, it's starting to hit low inventory. I'll probably suffer a FOMO attack and probably pre-order it. I don't want it just because I know how many more Spider-Verse figures I'm going to be. Again, it's like 5 or 6. I'm getting Toby. I'm getting Andrew. I'm getting Doc Ock. Both Green Goblins. Electro, right? It's a ton. It's very overwhelming. And if I can reduce some of the stress from the pressure pot here and avoid some of the Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse characters, I absolutely would. That would be my gist. So for me, I'm on the fence. I'm very, very 50-50 on this one right here. So I will talk about Wanda here. And holy smack, she is, if I look on my spreadsheet, she's the oldest pre-order I have. I canceled probably a handful of pre-orders last year, but I kept this one. I really did because I need a Wanda in my collection. I just don't understand why they took over 2 years. In fact, this was a day one pre-order for me. I'll even tell you exactly the day I pre-ordered. I'm going to look at my chart right now because I know she's over 2 years old. And I could have canceled her, but I didn't because I really, really do want a Wanda. Maybe I should have maybe canceled the pre-order and then picked her up later because she's going to be she's probably going to hit the discount bin right next to her love Vision, because I think Vision's hit the discount bin too. I pre-ordered her on March the 9th, 2021. So yeah, over 2 years. Slightly over 2 years. I think it's a great figure. I mean, they did a great job. I love the costume. I love the attention to detail in her face and then the soft glow to it. I think it's beautiful. She looks beautiful. I have no really complaints about her. Nothing. I love her with the cape. She'll probably be posed in my collection in the cape, and I'll probably have her flying. I'll probably have her suspended from the ceiling of the module case, and I'll have her on display. But like this look right here is just fantastic. Yeah, I don't have anything really negative. I want her. Plain and simple. Yeah. March 9th. Yep. She was the day one pre-order for me, Joshua. March 9th, 2021 is when I looked at my sheet. So yeah, I understand and I can sympathize with folks that aren't excited for her. right? This is the problem, and I know it's not Hot Toys' fault because of the world kind of shut down. But Hot Toys needs to understand that when pre-orders take this long, life happens, right? I can tell you in a little over 2 years, a lot has happened to me, right? Life happens. Life changes happen. So to expect collectors to still commit to this at the time, they were in a different time back then. March the 9th was a different reality for most Americans. So yeah, you can't really, I don't hold anybody. Like, I understand that majority of the retailers all suffered flaky cancellation collectors, but there has to be exceptions. And I think exceptions are like this. When it hits over 2 years, right? You cannot wag the finger at the collector for canceling on you, right? I get it. You're going to get stuck with tons of dead stock that you submitted a PO for, and you don't know what to do with it. Now it's going to end up in a few months as the new daily deal. I get it. That sucks. But you also have to understand the collector's point of view too. And again, this is why I'm very adamant that as wacky and as cheap as this Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse 2099 looks, he's probably going to arrive with a chase price on him. 100%. Yeah. Yeah. I just got charged for my battle droid, right? My battle droid just got charged from Sideshow. When he arrives, you go on eBay, you can buy him right now for $275. The battle droid retails for $190 on Sideshow. I haven't seen that type of equity lineup like that in years before 2020. The fact that you pre-order something and then it arrives, and if you want to sell it, you can and make a little bit of chump change like upon arrival. I haven't seen that since 2019. So that's the world we're living in right now. I mean, like, I had my clone pilot arrive with equity. I had my clone trooper R2D2, right? It's just they're coming in hot. My battle droid just got charged. I need more battle droid. It's my fault. I messed up, folks. What was I thinking? I love Star Wars battle droids. I need a minimum of 3. My dumbass, I messed up. I only pre-ordered 1 from Sideshow on day 1. Duh. Battle droids look fantastic in a group. Now I'm paying. Yeah, I'm going to I need 2 more. I don't know where. I need 2 more. I need minimum. They just look great when they're like bunched up like ants. Yep. Battle droids are coming in. So, yeah. So this Wanda here, I could have canceled her. I have her pre-ordered through Alter Ego, and I know Mark out there. He's pretty cool. So, yeah, I mean, could I be a dick? I don't know. I really want her. I just need to get her out of the way. I do want a Wanda, I had a lot of fun with WandaVision. I did. And just this pose right here, this is awesome. I'll have her. I'll have her flying like this. To me, this is really, really cool. I really like this. Yeah. Radworld checking in from New Zealand, 7:50 p.m. Thank you, good sir, for checking in. Yeah. Let me see if I can show you folks without getting banned. I'm going to show you a commercial here. Let me see if I can pull this off. I think I could. Maybe I won't get. It's only a minute. Maybe I won't get demonetized. If I do, I'll remove it. But let me see if I can play this. It was. Yeah, I wanted to show you that trailer, just showing you the different styles of animation. Yeah, this is going to be a huge film. Opens up this weekend, right? 26. So I'll be seeing that. I'll be seeing that on opening week, and I definitely look forward to that. There we go. Yes, 10,000 agree with the battle droids. The B1 and the variants are my favorite. Yeah, I messed up. That's my bad. I messed up on that. I should have pre-ordered more. I just didn't think I'd be chasing them. right? So I pay the price, right? I pay the price for that. So you live and learn, right? You live and learn. So I think that's it. This is just a little bit of a quick midnight run. I think I'm done for the night. Just wanted to share some thoughts on it because I know everyone's going to have their 2 cents going into the week. And I am off tomorrow. And I believe Geeking Out, Nate will be doing a stream tomorrow. So I'll crash in for a bit and kind of do a little bit of recapping. So, yeah, this was fun. Thank you, wonderful folks, for hanging out for an old school midnight run.